Hey everyone, Dale here with Pacific Sun Technologies. Hope you're all doing well. I have a pretty interesting review slash topic to talk about in today's video that involves Panasonic, specifically their new EverVolt solar panels. Spoiler alert, they are not manufactured by Panasonic. But before I get into the white label fiasco, please take a second to subscribe to the channel by clicking that button down below. We really appreciate it. I do, of course. And for those of you that live in our area of Southern California and you've been thinking about going solar or adding battery backup to your existing solar system, then visit us online to receive a hassle-free quote. We really make it easy and affordable for you to make the switch to a renewable energy source. Plus, with the change in policies that may be coming early next year, you may not want to wait much longer because that net energy metering program that really benefits you by going solar might just be disappearing soon. All right. So let's talk about Panasonic and why I think you should reconsider choosing their solar panels. Now, first, let's give a little backstory on Panasonic. Actually, I'm going to give a pretty extensive backstory, and it's going to go all the way back to Sanyo, because the history of Panasonic isn't that they actually made solar panels and that actually Sanyo did, who invented some really cool solar cells in the 1975s. It took Sanyo about 5 years to start manufacturing their special amorphous silicon. They were actually the first manufacturer worldwide to commercially produce solar cells like this. But solar was really expensive in the late 70s and throughout the 80s, and there really wasn't much of a demand, but Sanyo continued researching, developing, and manufacturing these solar cells that they've invented. It wasn't until the mid to late 1990 that solar actually appeared feasible in the residential market. It actually entered the private sector first for residential homes, people with lots of money, because it was still pretty expensive. Now, Sanyo released their very first heterojunction inter-stick thin layer technology. I don't know if I say that all right, but it's HIT for short, and that's what it's been marketed for many years. Their very first solar panel produced 170 watts with a cell efficiency of 16.4% and a module efficiency, which is really much more important, of 14.4%. Far from what we see today. I mean, we have panels that are pushing 440 watts by LG Solar. Yeah, they've come out with them. You're gonna wanna subscribe to the channel because I'm gonna be doing a video about them. They're really freaking amazing. Now, from here, Sanyo continued to improve upon their technology and eventually were purchased by Panasonic in 2012. Now, from there, Panasonic invested billions, because Panasonic has been around for a long time. And I think like they go back to like 1912, honestly. I mean, over 100 years. And they really wanted to get in the solar industry. They bought Sanyo. They loved the HIT technology that they developed. So here we are today. Now, Panasonic had an advantage of its competitors when they bought Sanyo, because Sanyo was really pushing the envelope with their HIT cells. They had a patent on it. No one else could copy their technology. But like anything in any industry, manufacturers and competitors that entered the market started to advance their technology and improve upon what they could. So companies like LG, QCell, Jinko, there's many, many more that have been around just as long as Sanyo in this industry. And it was a very short-lived top place for Panasonic with that HIT module, because it eventually hit a brick wall. No pun intended. But see, Panasonic had a huge advantage in efficiency and wattage in those early days that the other companies really couldn't achieve. And their patent technology could only take them so far. And only a couple of years after that 2012 acquisition of Sanyo, many companies were actually surpassing Panasonic in wattage and efficiency, or at least matching them. Now, that HIT technology still had advantages in other areas, but needless to say, Panasonic started losing significant market share because of the cost of their panels compared to their competitors. So they did what any company would have done in their position. Find someone with better technology to make a new line of solar panels for them to market and sell as their own. Which brings us to 2020 and the complete random and unexpected release of the Panasonic EverVolt panel, which is the EV-PV module followed by, whatever wattage it is. When this panel was released, there was very little information available. I really had to do some digging, but it didn't take me long to realize that this Panasonic EverVolt panel wasn't something new, at least in the sense of Panasonic taking solar technology to the next level. No. In fact, it's just a white label of an REC Alpha. Yeah, REC. Now, you may have not heard of REC, or may have. They're actually a pretty good brand, and I'm going to be doing a video on them, so be sure to subscribe to the channel because we're going to be offering them soon. So if you also want to quote on them, you can use that link down below. So if you're not familiar with them, in terms of what white label referencing is, let me explain. So when a company rebrands someone else's product as their own, that's called white labeling. And in most cases, you probably have seen this in your grocery store. Heck, if you've gone to Costco, you got the Kirkland brand. Well, basically that house brand is made by a reputable name brand in many cases. For some reason, in this case, you have Panasonic using an REC panel. So it's been reversed. You kind of have the reputable brand using an offer brand. But REC is just a solar manufacturer. Panasonic manufactures a bunch of other things. Now, like I said, I will be doing a video on the REC Alpha, so be sure to subscribe by using that link below. But I feel it was important to talk about the Panasonic EverVolt first, so you know that this said panel is actually made by REC, because we will not be offering our customers these panels, but instead the REC Alpha, and here's why. Price is definitely one of the reasons. Surprisingly, Panasonic charges more for the same panel as REC. I don't know. So obviously I want to save you money. But over the years, I have seen countless solar companies, be it installers or manufacturers, literally enter the solar market and then just disappear. This industry is incredibly brutal. We've been around for 14 years and it has been an up and down battle, trust me. It wasn't always like that. In the early days, there really wasn't a lot of companies. Solar was it was a lot more expensive. So you didn't do as much business as you do today. But, you just end up with an industry that has had a lot of people jump in to make a quick buck, and then they leave. That's sadly the truth. But one thing has always stood out to me, and that's white labeling of equipment. Now, when I typically see companies start to white label products, it's because they're working on their exit strategy. This isn't always the case, but in solar it seems to be pretty frequent. You'd be surprised at the amount of companies, large companies, that have been in the solar industry and then slowly found their way out. Now, this is usually done with the larger brand name companies, ones that have other divisions that make other technology. So solar isn't their bread and butter. So if it's not making them enough money, the executives are going to go, yeah, you know what, let's try and get rid of this division. And it's happened a lot over the last 10 years. It's definitely happened a lot in just the last 5 years. You'd be surprised that BP Solar, which was British Petroleum, was in the solar industry 10 years. GE, there's also Sharp. These companies were in it and then they left. And they all left by phasing out with not their product, but other people's products. So basically, these companies found a reputable company that makes a product they feel comfortable offering to their customers with their brand name as their own, and voila. They can slowly exit the market, and the other company will handle any warranty claims that may occur over the course of the next 10, 20, 30 years. So in my opinion, if you're considering Panasonic solar panels, I suggest you reconsider and request another brand like LG Solar or Q-Cells. But if you really, really like the technology that REC developed, because it is awesome in these alpha panels, again, I'm going to do a video on them, so if you're not too familiar with the technology, don't worry. But if you have a quote on Panasonic EverVolt, they're the exact same panel. So if you love that tech, you're going to love the Alpha because there's no difference. Even the warranty is the same because it's basically REC's warranty. So there's no special perk to Panasonic's warranty. You get this full coverage with REC through their Alpha warranty. Now, REC sells their panels for a lot less than the Panasonic. I mean, not a lot less, but it's actually a significant amount. I've seen it range from as much as $80 per panel. And that in turn translates to you to a couple $1,000s. So why would you want to buy a product from a manufacturer that if you did have to do a warranty claim, worst case, you have to contact them and then they're going to contact the actual manufacturer. So you're adding a middleman to this process when you can just work directly with REC, which again is a very reputable company. Now, like I said, I will be doing a video on REC Alpha panels, so be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm also going to be doing one on that LG Solar Neon R 440 watt panel. Now that panel is not for everybody, but trust me, you're going to want to learn about it because it's freaking crazy. LG literally blew the top off of the residential market with pushing efficiency and wattage to the next level. Now, if you want a quote for these REC panels or LG panels or Q-Cell panels or any solar panel for that matter that we find reputable, then visit us online by using that link in the description below. We service a huge area of Southern California and we'd love to have you as a customer. And any product that we offer, we have done diligent research to ensure that it is a company that's worth us offering, because we don't want to sell a product that is going to phase out or not be around to honor their warranty over the course of the next 25 years. Remember, most solar panels come with a 25-year warranty these days. So why would you want a product that isn't going to have that warranty? Or the company is not going to be around. Well, that's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.